वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, The Birth of Lord Krishna. Text number 11. Saha Vismaya Utfulla Vilochanaha Harim Savismayotfulla Vilochano Harim Savismayotfulla Vilochano Harim Sutam Vilokya Anakadundubhihi Tada Sutam Vilokyanakadundubhistada Sutam Vilokyanakadundubhistada Krishna Avatara Utsava Sambhramaha Asprushat Krishnavatarotsava Sambhramosprishan Krishnavatarotsava Sambhramosprishan Muda Dvijebhyaha Ayutam Aplutaha Gabam Muda Dvijebhyo Yutam Apluto Gabam Muda Dvijebhyo Yutam Apluto Gabam Savismayotfulla Vilochano Harim Sutam Vilokyanakadundubhistada Krishnavatarotsava Sambhramosprishan Muda Dvijebhyo Yutam Apluto Gavam Savismayotfulla Vilochano Harim Sutam Vilokyanakadundubhistada Navatarotsava sambramosprushan Muda dvijebhyo yutamapluto gabam. Saha, he, Vasudeva, also known as Anakadundubhi, Vismaya, Utpulla, Vilochanaha, his eyes being struck with wonder at the beautiful appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Harim, Lord Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sutam, as his son, Vilokya, observing, Anakadundubhihi, Vasudeva, Tada, at that time, Krishna Avatara Utsava, for a festival to be observed because of Krishna's appearance. Sambhramaha, wishing to welcome the Lord with great respect. Asprushat, took advantage by distributing. Muda, with great jubilation. Vijebhyaha, to the Brahmanas. Ayutam, 10,000. Aplutaha, overwhelmed, surcharged. Gavam, cows. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. When Vasudeva saw his extraordinary son, his eyes were struck with wonder. In transcendental jubilation, he mentally collected 10,000 cows and distributed them among the Brahmanas as a transcendental festival. Please repeat this translation after me. When Vasudeva saw his extraordinary son, his eyes were struck with wonder. In transcendental jubilation, he mentally collected 10,000 cows and distributed them among the Brahmanas as a transcendental festival. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has analyzed the wonder of Vasudeva upon seeing his extraordinary child. Vasudeva was shivering with wonder to see a newborn child decorated so nicely with valuable garments and gems. He could immediately understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had appeared, not as an ordinary child, but in his original, fully decorated, four-handed form. The first wonder was that the Lord was not afraid to appear within the prison house of Kamsa, where Vasudeva and Devaki were interned. Second, although the Lord, the supreme transcendence, is all pervading, he had appeared from the womb of Devaki. The third point of wonder, therefore, was that a child could take birth from the womb so nicely decorated. Fourth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was Vasudeva's worshipable deity, yet had taken birth as a son. For all these reasons, Vasudeva was transcendently jubilant, and he wanted to perform a festival as Kshatriyas do to celebrate the birth of a child. But because of his imprisonment, he was unable to do it externally, and therefore he performed the festival within his mind. This was just as good. If one cannot externally serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can serve the Lord within one's mind, since the activities of the mind are as good as those of the other senses. This is called non-dual or absolute situation, Advaya Jnana. People generally perform ritualistic ceremonies for the birth of a child. Why then should Vasudeva not have performed such a ceremony when the Supreme Lord appeared as a son? Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshata Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, my birth and my activities are all completely divya, transcendental. So how is Krishna's birth transcendental? That is to be understood by these descriptions given about the actual birth, Leela, Janma Leela of Krishna. Krishna is appearing from the womb of Devaki. But he did not enter the womb like an ordinary child. How did he enter the womb? He first entered the heart of Vasudeva. And in Vasudeva, by initiation, transferred Krishna from his heart to Devaki's heart. And then from Devaki's heart, Krishna entered Devaki's womb. Now, Krishna coming out of the womb of Devaki also is happening like he's first transferring himself from Devaki's womb to Devaki's heart. Therefore, it is said in one of the previous verses that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, appeared from the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of night. So when he came out of the heart of Devaki. So this is extraordinary birth that he is transferring himself from the womb of Devaki to the heart of Devaki, and is coming out of the heart of Devaki. Then the description is also given that the Lord appeared not as a small child, but appeared in his original four-handed form, Narayana form. So how can a child come out of the womb fully decorated with all beautiful ornaments? The previous two verses, it's a wonderful description by Shukadev Goswami. Tam adbhutam balakam ambujekshanam chaturbhujam shanka gadadi udayudham Srivatsalakshmam Galashobhi Kaustubham Pitambaram Sandrapayoda Saubhagam. Beautiful composition by Shukadev Goswami, by Vyasadeva. Beautiful description by Shukadev Goswami. So, fully decorated with all ornaments and brilliantly shining, because he appeared in the dense darkness of night, midnight. He appeared at midnight. And he appeared in a prison cell. Prison cell also was dark. Middle of the night, in a dark prison cell, he appeared out of the womb of Devaki, fully decorated. Beautiful hair, beautiful crown, everything very, very beautiful. And shining, dazzling beauty. So, when Vasudeva saw his extraordinary son, his eyes were struck with wonder. So naturally, Vasudeva became very, very jubilant. So it is described here in transcendental jubilation, because before that, Vasudeva was anxious that the earlier children who were born of Devaki, they were all killed by Kamsa. The first 6 children were killed by Kamsa. And the 7th child was apparently a miscarriage. The child died in the womb itself. That's what everyone thought. But actually, that is the transcendental Leela of the Lord. That his plenary expansion, Balaram, had entered the womb of Devaki, again, transcendentally entered. But before he could come out of the womb of Devaki, he was transferred by Yogamaya from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. Then when that happened, before the child could come out of the womb, it was ordinarily thought that the child died in the womb. So Kamsa could not lay his hands on the 7th child of Devaki. Kamsa thought, okay, I don't have to kill that child. The child died in the womb. My work is done. Now Kamsa is waiting for the 8th son, 8th child, 8th child. The prophecy said, the 8th child of Devaki will be the cause of your death. So actually, it was not clearly told that the eighth son of Devaki will be the cause of your death. See, the Lord, he arranges for his Leela. We cannot arrange for our life in any way. We try, but then we realize many times that things don't go exactly according to our plan or our desire or our arrangements. Sometimes, yes. So our life is dependent on our karma. So when karma is good, things are good. Our plans seem to work. When karma is bad, everything goes against our plans, our desires, and our life becomes miserable. So many difficulties, so many dangers, so many sufferings. But the Supreme Lord, his existence is different from our existence, present material existence. His existence is spiritual existence, Satchidananda existence, eternal existence, full of knowledge, full of bliss, full of activity, full of life, eternal life, spiritual existence. So that is different existence altogether. And even when Krishna comes to this world, appears in this world, he comes with his spiritual paraphernalia. He comes with his spiritual abode. He comes with his spiritual associates. He comes with his spiritual qualities. He comes with his spiritual everything. So Krishna is the absolute truth, means he is the supreme personality of Godhead, always with all his paraphernalia, his associates, his kingdom, his ornaments, his dress, his weapons, everything. He's full of all kinds of opulences. And he is always with his opulences. Advaya Jnana. He cannot be separated from his qualities, uh, his paraphernalia, his wealth, his beauty, his associates, his kingdom. He cannot be separated at any time. Always with everyone and everything. At the same time, Krishna need not manifest everything if at all he appears, especially in the material world. In the spiritual world, Krishna is fully manifest with everything, all his spiritual uh, paraphernalia, his spiritual qualities, his spiritual activities, everything. But in the material world, there is a difference. Krishna selectively manifests some of his form or forms. He manifests some of his qualities, some of his paraphernalia, some of his associates, some of his opulences, selectively. In all other incarnations other than the incarnation of Krishna. Only in his incarnation as Krishna, he fully manifests his complete spiritual existence in the spiritual world. Therefore, Krishna Avatara is very special. Avatara is the only avatara, only incarnation of the Supreme Lord, because he has got millions and billions and trillions of incarnations. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. He has millions and billions of forms. And all those forms are manifest at different times in the material world under different circumstances. But even though those different forms in the spiritual world are complete and perfect and full of all spiritual opulences, in the material world, they are always manifest selectively, except when Krishna comes with Balaram and his associates in his personal abode, Goloka Vrindavana. Then he completely comes and manifests all his opulences, all his paraphernalia, all his uh, wealth, his strength, his beauty, everything. But then again, even that manifestation of his complete opulence in the spiritual world is actually in three different um, uh, parts. Part one is his uh, form and his paraphernalia and his opulences in Goloka Vrindavana. Goloka, that abode which is full of cows, full of cows. And his form there is the original form, a cowherd boy. Chintamani prakara sadma sukalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhira vipalayantam. He's tending cows, surabhi cows. Lakshmi sahasra shata sambhrama sevyama. With great respect. Lakshmi here refers to the gopis in Vrindavan. So the gopis are serving him with great respect. Sambhrama sevyamanam. Like that, the description is there in the Brahma Samhita and the Bhagavatam 10th canto, the Vrindavan Leela. But when he appeared in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared in his Vasudeva feature. That is also an eternal manifestation in the spiritual world. In Mathura and Dwaraka, two different features of Krishna, Krishna only, the original person, in two different features, where he actually enjoys varieties of Leela, different varieties of Leela. Even in Vrindavan, there are varieties, but the varieties of Leela in Mathura and Dwaraka are not the same as the varieties in Vrindavan. What's the difference? In Vrindavan, the devotees, the inhabitants, they don't care to know whether Krishna is God or Krishna is not God. Why? Because in Vrindavan Leela, sometimes Krishna manifests or displays his supreme opulences, power, wealth, beauty, strength, etc. But that is very, very rarely. Most of the time, he is like a most ordinary child or or a boy, cowherd boy, or a baby, uh, like that. So, uh, the Brajavasis, the residents of Goloka Vrindavana, they don't care who is God, what is God. They don't care, they don't bother. But all of them are, the residents are Vaishnavas, they are devotees of Vishnu. This is the transcendental secret you should understand in Krishna's uh, manifestation in this world or in the spiritual world. Even though he is the original person, as a cowherd boy, as Shama Sundara, but the Brajavasis accept him as one of their own family members, one of their own kith and kin. And they worship and they pray and they seek protection from Vishnu. From Vishnu, they are all Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas worship Vishnu. Vishnu Yasya Devata. Vaishnava means those who are worshippers of Vishnu exclusively. They're called Vaishnavas. So all of them are Vaishnavas without exception. All are Vaishnavas. They're worshippers of Vishnu. But their love is exclusively for Krishna. Vishnu, they only have reverential devotion. Reverential devotion, utmost respect for Vishnu. For Krishna, he is our most beloved, either child or friend or master, or even in Shantarasa, the cows, the bees, the peacocks, all of them love Krishna. Always they are conscious of Krishna. They're always thinking of Krishna. They're always engaged in giving service by pleasing Krishna in a very intimate way. In a very intimate way. And what is the intimacy? Unimaginable. That Krishna is a cowherd boy. The cows are thinking that sometimes Krishna calls the cows will come running with great pleasure and begin to lick his feet. And then he begins to caress them. But they, within their heart of hearts, they think, if I could directly feed my milk, the cows are thinking, to Krishna, it was so nice. So nice. So actually, they are not deprived of that. So Krishna performed one Leela to reveal to us the secret that in the spiritual world, in his personal abode, all the devotees, all their desires are completely fulfilled by Krishna. In fact, Krishna has no other business in the spiritual world because his duties, his responsibilities, his routine activities, everything is automatically carried out by his energies. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. He has nothing to do in terms of maintaining this world or even taking care in the spiritual world of all arrangements for his devotees. He has nothing to do. That doesn't mean he's inactive. He's always active. Active doing what? Simply giving pleasure to his devotees by fulfilling their desires as they want, exactly as they want. So in Brahma Vimohana Leela, Krishna is demonstrating that he assumed the form of a calf to drink the milk directly from the cows. The elderly gopis in Vrindavan, though they have their own family, their children, their husband, their uh, household, but always their attachment is for Krishna. And they desire that, like Mother Yashoda feeds her breast milk to Krishna. So we wish that we could also feed Krishna our breast milk. So Krishna demonstrates it's not that he only accepts the breast milk of Yashoda. He also accepts the breast milk of all the mothers who have motherly affection for Krishna. He reciprocates fully. This is Krishna. Exactly as the devotees desire to render service to him for pleasing him, Krishna simply accepts the service, reciprocates exactly in the same way. That is Krishna. Whereas in all other forms of Krishna, Rama, Narsimha, Varaha, he has got a particular manifestation with specific details. And that is also according to the devotees' desire to serve him. That's also according to the devotees' desire for serving him. But the service is rendered with reverence and with great respect. Only for Krishna, there is no respect, there is no reverence. He is our own beloved. That's all. For all the Vrindavan Nivasis, respect is only for Vishnu, like in the Vaikuntha planets. Exactly like in Vaikuntha planets. Vaikuntha planets, all the inhabitants, they have the greatest respect for Vishnu, the particular manifestation of Vishnu. So similarly, the inhabitants in Golok Vrindavana, they are worshippers of Narayana in his different features, different forms. They're all Vaishnavas. So they have Saligram Shila, they do worship of Saligram Shila, they're all Vaishnavas. But as far as Krishna is concerned, sometimes they get a doubt whether Krishna is God. Sometimes they get a doubt by his activities. But that is when Krishna allows, certain, in this material world only, Krishna allows sometimes his devotees to think that maybe he is God. When does that happen? When the cowherd boys are playing and they're going on playing, it's time for lunch. Krishna is thinking, I don't want to stop their playing. At the same time, their lunch is getting delayed. So what can I do? Some interruption has to be there for the play. Someone demon will come and do some mischief. Something he will do. Then Krishna will say, okay, now is the time. Kill this demon and let's have lunch. Send this demon away. He did serve the purpose for stopping our play. So this is Krishna Leela. This is Krishna Leela. So Krishna is never respected by the Brajavasis, except when Krishna sometimes to teach us, ordinary conditioned souls, that He is the Supreme Lord. He shows the whole universe to Mother Yashoda in His mouth. Then what happens to Mother Yashoda? For time being, for a moment, when she sees, open your mouth, she tells him that I heard that you have eaten some mud. So let me see. No, I have not eaten mud. No, let me see. Open your mouth. What is in your mouth? So he opens and he shows the whole universe. Brahmanda. So then Yashoda, seeing that universe, what does she begin to think? Oh, this child is not my child. This is Supreme Lord. Under illusion, I am thinking this child is my child. I'm thinking Nanda Maharaj is my husband. I'm thinking this is my house. I'm thinking I'm the queen of Vrindavan. Nanda Maharaj is the king. His wife Yashoda is the queen. So all that is illusion. So then she begins to offer prayers to Krishna. This child is actually the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Krishna doesn't like Mother Yashoda praying to him. Immediately he covers her with Yoga Maya, puts her back into illusion, by which she will think, this is my child, Nanda Maharaj is my husband, I belong to Vrindavan. This is the business of Yoga Maya. Because all the devotees of Krishna in Vrindavan, they are fully in knowledge. They know who is God. Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of God, or Narayana, Supreme Personality. They know. But their love is for Krishna. Just like it happens in material world, no? Supposing somebody is a very ideal father. So he will naturally have a lot of love for his child, a lot of affection for his family members. But when it comes to worshipping the deity of Vishnu or God, lot of respect, lot of reverence. There'll be no love for God. Right? Where is question of love for God? So exactly like that, in Vrindavan, it seems like the Brajavasis, they have respect, they have reverence, they worship Vishnu. But Krishna is our most beloved child. For Krishna, what is meant is our love and affection. For Vishnu, respect, reverence, worship. So this is the mystery of the personality of Krishna. It is very nicely revealed in the Bhagavatam alone. Krishna gives a hint in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita gives a hint. Machitta, matkata prana, bodhayanta parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam, tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Bhava samanvitaha. Those who are my pure devotees, means pure devotees of Krishna, they actually are connecting with Krishna with lot of feelings, bhava. They have bhava. In reverential devotion, there's no question of bhava. Of course, there is bhava, there is feeling, but it is strictly according to rules, regulations, always conscious about Lord Vishnu's position as supreme, infinite Lord with lot of power, lot of wealth, lot of beauty, everything. And I, insignificant jiva, I am very, 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 very insignificant. So because of that, when we realize actually we are very, very insignificant, our respect and reverence will be so much more. Is it not? It's natural. So devotees of Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, everybody, they are always reverentially devoted to the Supreme Lord. Their devotion is always reverential devotion. It's called Aishwarya Yukta Bhakti. They're always conscious of his position. Like you see the dealings between Rama, it appears like Rama is not exactly like the other forms of Narayana. Rama, he appeared as the son of Dasharatha and very obedient to the father and simply carrying out the father's order. Father ordered him, go to the forest. Okay, I'll go to the forest. But then, always, even though Dasharatha had that affection for Rama, when Vishwamitra came to Dasharatha to take Rama to the forest to protect his sacrificial arena against the attack of the demons, the associates of Ravana. That time Vishwamitra came, Dasharatha was so much hesitating to tell him, how can I send my son? Small boy. I'll personally come. I'll send my army. Whatever you want, I'll do to protect your sacrificial arena. That's not a big thing. But why do you want to take my son only, alone? No, Rama and Lakshmana. Vishwamitra said, I'll take Rama and Lakshmana. Two of them is enough. So then Vishwamitra reveals to Dasharatha that your sons don't think they're some ordinary boys. Supreme Lord. Dasharatha immediately so much respect and reverence for his son. Mother Yashoda, when she comes to know, when Krishna shows the universe within his mouth, Mother Yashoda also becomes alerted. Oh, this child is not ordinary child. This is actually Supreme Lord. I had to be very careful in dealing with him. Krishna doesn't like that. Where is Rama? He accepts. Yes. Because the position of Dasharatha is that of reverential devotion, even as the father of Rama. Vasudeva. Why I am describing all this is Vasudeva. He saw his extraordinary son. How did Krishna appear? Not as a small child. He appeared as the Supreme Lord. Why? Because Vasudeva prayed to the Supreme Lord, I want a son like you. And the Supreme Lord said, there is nobody else like me. If you want a son like me, I myself have to appear. So Krishna says to Vasudeva, I appeared in this form to convince you that the Supreme Lord, I, the Supreme Lord, have actually appeared as your son to fulfill your desire. So Vasudeva saw this form of the child who has appeared out of the womb of Devaki, just born, and is full of all opulences. So he's struck with wonder, naturally, totally bewildered. What is happening? But it is such a nice thing that is happening. Bewilderment is not cause for any anxiety or any worry or any danger, nothing. It's actually very, very joyfully he is wonderstruck. And he is, what is he doing? My son has appeared. I have to celebrate the birth of my son. So mentally, he collected 10,000 cows and distributed them among the Brahmanas as a transcendental festival. His position is that externally he's not able to do because he's imprisoned in the Kamsa's prison. So mentally he did that. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur analyzed the wonder of Vasudeva, and he has particularly noted 4 specific wonders. The first wonder was that the Lord was not afraid to appear within the prison house of Kamsa, where Vasudeva and Devaki were interned. The first 6 children, they were just killed by Kamsa. If this child also is an ordinary child, the child will be afraid. But the Lord, Supreme Lord, has appeared as my son. Where is the question of fear? There's no fear for the Lord. He can appear anywhere, under any circumstance. So that's the first wonder. The Lord has appeared. The Lord has to appear. Why should he appear in the prison? Why should he appear in the prison? Why should he appear in the middle of night when Kamsa and all his associates are asleep? As if he is afraid of Kamsa. He's appearing like that. But he is not afraid actually. Only Vasudeva and Devaki. Only 2 people know in the entire palace, the whole of Mathura. The Supreme Lord has appeared. But it seems like he's afraid. It seems like he's afraid. So Devaki and Vasudeva know, oh, the Supreme Lord has appeared. For him, there's no question of fear, any danger for his life, nothing. The second wonder is that although he is present everywhere, Supreme Lord, all pervading, he is present everywhere, but he has appeared from the womb of Devaki. After a mother gives birth to the child, that womb becomes empty. The child was there, growing, 9 months. So Krishna apparently also entered Devaki's womb and started growing big, big, big. And when the time came for the birth of the child, Krishna came out of the womb. But then Krishna has come out of the womb fully decorated. Which ordinary child will be fully decorated except when the parents decorate the child after the birth? Right? Parents will nicely decorate the child, nicely clothe the child. Yeah, beautiful child if it is born. They will do that. But this child is already fully clothed, full hair, full ornaments, everything. Dazzling, brilliant, dazzlingly, brilliantly beautiful. So it is the second wonder. Came out of the womb of Devaki in this beautiful way. That the child could take birth from the womb so nicely decorated. Third wonder. Child has come out of the womb so nicely decorated. And the fourth wonder is that who has appeared as his son, this worshipable deity to whom he was praying. I want a son like you. That worshipable deity has come as a son. Worshipable deity means full of respect, reverence. Cannot expect that worshipable Lord, I'll fondle, I'll kiss him, I will lift him like a child in my arms. He'll suck my wife's breast. Can't imagine all that. That is totally unimaginable, out of question. But he has appeared as my son. He is the Lord. He's the Lord. He's appeared as my son. Just because I had a desire to have a son like him. So fourth wonder. So therefore, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tatpataha. And now this Janma Leela, Krishna performs simultaneously, or rather, after this Janma Leela performed for Vasudeva and Devaki, he again repeats the Janma Leela for Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj the next day morning. Because when this Leela is happening, birth Leela in the prison of Kamsa, Yashoda and Nanda are fast asleep. Everybody else is fast asleep. Only Vasudeva and Devaki are celebrating middle of the night. So we are very fortunate to celebrate the birth of Krishna in the middle of the night. Okay. But a different Janma Leela is going to happen after this. That will also be described. And then Yashoda, next day morning, they wake up. Oh, child was born sometime in the night. Yashoda is described by Sukadeva Goswami, very tired after childbirth. So she went off to sleep. And the next day morning, oh, child is born of Yashoda. So Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, extremely happy, beautiful, small child. Very small child. Like child is born, it's so small, infant. So like that, very beautiful child. Oh, now we have to celebrate the appearance of the child. So they all became very jubilant. Child is born. Because Nanda Maharaj did not have children for a very, very long time. He had become very old actually. So he got a son after many years. So he was extraordinarily happy that he didn't have children, but he got a son after. And child is so beautiful, so very nice, so nicely appeared. Okay. So Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda celebrated the Janma Leela also. So therefore, we have two kinds of celebrations. Midnight, we have one celebration. Next day, we have what is called as Nandotsava. That is when actually the deity is to be put into the cradle, and that Yulan Seva, child, Totliga Hakudu, they say in Kannada, doesn't happen at the time of birth. It happens after the birth, some days, like put the child in the cradle. So like that, that cradle festival, that happens next day morning after the midnight of appearance. So Krishna performs this extraordinary pastimes, simultaneously satisfying all categories of devotees as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, and as a prince in Mathura, and as a king in Dwaraka. This is varieties of Krishna Leela. And that is elaborately described in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. Let's stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, I have some announcements here. We'll be celebrating Sri Vyasa Puja, that 128th appearance day anniversary of Srila Prabhupada on 27th August. This is the day after Janmashtami. Prabhupada appeared on Nandotsav day. Devotees can cook various food items, sweets and savories, and bring the same to the temple for offering it to Srila Prabhupada. There are some guidelines how you should prepare and how you should bring. So they are all put up on the notice board, and devotees will also explain to you if you have any doubts. So please participate in this seva. Then Square Feet Seva, donate and spread the word. We are excited to announce the Square Feet Seva initiative to support the construction of the magnificent ISKCON Mysore temple. This seva is especially for everyone to participate in any small donation, by giving small donation. So as many square feet as you can give, not necessary at one time, maybe you can give over period of next, let's say, 2 years or 2.5 years, we're going to complete the temple. So you contribute as much as you can, whenever you can, uh, like that. So this square feet seva has been started. And also you can spread this word of square feet seva. They can all participate. Because when the temple is ready, you come to the temple, beautiful temple, and then you have the satisfaction. I also contributed for building this temple. I also contributed according to my might. I'm not very rich. I can't give huge amounts. But whatever I can give, see, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, you should always remember, he is not in need of any seva from us or any donation or contribution from us. But still he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yat juhoshi, dadasi yat. Whatever dana you give, Krishna says, give to me. So people wonder why Krishna is asking, give dana to me. He should say, give to the poor, give to the needy, give to some people who are deprived. That's understandable. Or give to the brahmanas who are doing wonderful service, but they don't charge any money. They're doing as a nice service. Give them some dana. Okay. But why is Krishna telling, give me? That is bhakti. That is the speciality of bhakti. Bhakti means everything you do in connection with Krishna. You have to eat some food, but you offer the food to Krishna and take the remnants as prasadam. You have to give some dana, some charity. But you give to Krishna that charity. And then what about the others who actually should be given charity? Through Krishna that will happen. Through Krishna that will happen. Why? Because devotees understand. Even if somebody is in need, it's because of their karma that they have been actually put into that situation. Their karma, bad karma. Like if I eat without sharing what I have excess and I won't give to others, then I will be put into a situation where I will not have and somebody having excess will not give me. Exactly as I conduct myself in this world, exactly that result of my actions are awaiting me. That's karma, law of karma. Completely perfect. But then, still, somehow in ignorance, they have done some mistake in the past. So, but they're suffering now. How to relieve their suffering? So, you cannot relieve their suffering by directly intervening in the laws of karma. Just like the state laws are there. Somebody has committed a crime and they are imprisoned. And the prison, it's very, very like austere condition, very difficult situation. So somebody may go to the prison and try to, the immediate family members at least will go to the prison and try to, see the person. Somehow he did some horrible mistake. And then now, what is this situation? Very, very sad. So can they directly intervene and say, poor fellow, let me, get him released, let him get some nice food, let him get some, he can, if you can't give him nice food in the prison, I will give him nice food. If you can't pardon him, I will pardon him. No, that doesn't work. Exactly like the state laws, they will never allow you. You see, he has to undergo the punishment in the prison because there's a higher purpose for rectifying his criminal mentality. That is the idea. Similarly, The karma nobody can change by material methods, because karma is meant to rectify the criminal mentality of the living entities in this material world. But there is another way the karma can be, the criminal mentality can be rectified by bhakti. By bhakti, how do you rectify? By doing that rectification through Krishna. Through Krishna. When you give dana to Krishna, then to whoever requires dana, automatically they will get the dana you're giving to Krishna. Because Krishna is the maintainer of everyone. Krishna is the provider of everyone. Krishna is the well-wisher of everyone. Krishna is the Lord of everyone. So in spite of Krishna being the Lord, Krishna being the unlimited Lord, why people are not getting? And Krishna being the maintainer, why they have to starve or why they have to be deprived of anything? Because of the karma. But what happens to their karma? How can it be completely nullified? By bhakti alone. Only by bhakti, karma can be nullified without them having to suffer the karma, consequence of the karma. Please understand this carefully. When you get some money, you may spend it for building a nice house for yourself. But if you have some excess, if you have a good heart, let me help somebody else to build their house, because they are deprived. Okay. Now, you should understand why they are deprived and you're not deprived. Because your karma is good, so you're not deprived. Their karma is bad, so they are deprived of money to build a house. So how can you help them? Somehow they did some sinful activity in the past, because of which they are suffering the consequence. So how can you help them? By your devotion. So instead of giving them directly some money, anyway, the money you give, it's not going to satisfy all their desires. It's not going to solve all their problems. That's never possible. Okay. But if you give to Krishna, building Krishna's temple, you give some excess you have after meeting all your basic needs. Some excess money you have. Give it to Krishna. And through Krishna, all those who are in need will completely be satisfied. So you give to Krishna, but you pray to Krishna that actually there are so many people who are suffering because of their own bad deeds. Kindly excuse them and relieve their suffering. Because a Vaishnava is paradukha dukhi. Vaishnava cannot tolerate others' suffering. So when the devotee appeals to Krishna, because those people, if they surrender to Krishna, they approach Krishna and they ask pardon from Krishna, Krishna will relieve them of all their suffering. But they are either dull-headed, or they are atheistic, or they are completely overwhelmed by some material situation. They don't pray to Krishna. They don't offer any prayers, nothing. They don't approach Krishna even. So what can we do about that? We can pray to Krishna for them. How? By actually engaging ourselves in Krishna's service. Not simply pray by some lip service. No. If you want to feed some hungry man, you offer to Krishna and then pray to Krishna. What did Draupadi do when she had to feed so many uh, disciples of Durvasa Muni with Durvasa Muni when she had nothing? What did she do? She just gave one grain of some leftover. Somehow in that Akshaya Patra, one grain was left. And then that she gave to Krishna. Krishna said, now, if you have satisfied me with one small grain, that Krishna can be satisfied even with one small grain. So then everybody is fully satisfied. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtihi. How to understand this? That I feed Krishna and everybody's hunger is satisfied. It's exactly like if you had to supply water to every part of the tree. There's a tree. If there is water, sufficient water, the tree will take from the ground or whatever available water. But it is dry season and rains are not come. The tree will dry up. So you want to supply water. Now you have to supply water to every part of the tree, right? So how do you supply water to every part of the tree? It's first of all a very impossible task. So you just simply water the root of the tree. Automatically, water will be, uh, you know, will be provided to all the parts of the tree. Exactly like you're feeling weak. You simply have to feed the stomach, put food into the stomach. By the arrangement of this body, healthy body, of course, the nourishment will be distributed to every part of the body. Separately, you have to feed the eyes, the ears, the nose. No. There's so many parts in this body. But to nourish every part, you simply have to feed the stomach. That's all. This is explained by Narad Muni in the 4th canto of the Bhagavatam. Yatha taror mula nishechanena trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha. Every part of the tree is satisfied by the water you offer to the root. Similarly, simply by satisfying Krishna, everybody becomes satisfied. Simply by giving to Krishna, everybody is provided. Simply by uh, praying to Krishna for the welfare of everybody, everybody's welfare is ensured. It's a fact. It's a fact. So, therefore, if at all anybody has any feeling that I want to help people who don't have a house, for them to somehow get some shelter, then you build a temple for Krishna, contribute for building a temple to Krishna. Everybody's house problem is solved. So therefore, everybody should contribute. Whatever you can, please contribute for this temple. It's an opportunity for you. And most important, more important than you are helping others, you are helping yourself. Your bhakti is awakened. Your bhakti is awakened when you offer to Krishna. Your bhakti is awakened. And that's the end of all your problems for sure. Others may or may not be, completely relieved of all their problems because they should surrender to Krishna. Then their problems are finished. But at least some temporary relief, if you want them to get, okay, you pray for their immediate relief by giving to Krishna, that will happen. But as far as you are concerned, by that act of trying to help others through Krishna, your own devotion is awakened. Your own devotion is awakened. And then all your problems are finished. That's all, guaranteed in this life. So that's why this square feet seva. Then one more. What is that? Tulsi Archana Seva on Krishna Janmashtami. Tulsi is very dear to Lord Sri Krishna. You can offer online Tulsi Charan Seva to Lord Krishna on the day of Sri Krishna Janmashtami. The puja will be live streamed on 26th August, the Janmashtami day, at 8 p.m. on YouTube. At that time, Sankalpa will be performed in your name and you can watch the Tulsi Archana. So, you have to contribute online for this, for the Seva. And you can watch on YouTube, on the wherever you are. You can watch the Tulsi Archana. Because even if you come to the temple, the crowd will be so much that at that time when the Archana happens, you may not be able to come exactly in front of the deity. So now we have got this social media, what is that? YouTube channel. So it will be broadcast on YouTube channel. So you participate by using your mobile phone. So you can offer this seva and also witness that seva at that 8 p.m. on 26th by through this arrangement. Tulsi Archana Seva online, you can donate and participate. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.